Forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for a late pizza. Hello YouTubers, you're on an all-new retro review, and today I'm going to be going over the 1990 film Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yes, based on the comic book by Kevin Eastman. It started as a dark, gritty comic in the late 80s and later on evolved into a cartoon series and a feature film. And at one point, this was the most successful, highest-grossing independent film ever produced. It's directed by Steve Barron. Yes, he's the director of Coneheads, as well as Pinocchio with Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Arabian Nights, Merlin, and he also did the music videos for Michael Jackson's Billie Jean and a-ha's Take On Me, Take On Me. And there's a lot of stuff in this adaptation that was very well done. It was a very low budget film, but this is before it was mainly advertised to children. There is still a level of grit, edginess, and just all-around violence to this movie that was very well done. You also had state-of-the-art animatronic effects done by Jim Henson. They're a little bit taller than their 4-foot, 5-foot counterparts in the comics and cartoon, but it works for human-sized individuals. You also have Judith Hoag as April O'Neil, yes, the mother from Halloween Town, and Elias Koteas as Casey Jones. You may recognize him from Look Who's Talking 2 as Kirstie Alley's brother, and the film Skinwalkers. And you have different people and voices as the Ninja Turtles. John Pace is a voice of Raphael. David Foreman's Leonardo. You also have Brian Todchi as Leonardo. Leif Tilden as Donatello. Corey Feldman plays the voice of Donatello. Michael Insisti as Michelangelo. Robbie Rist as Michelangelo. With Kevin Clash as Splinter and James Saito as the Shredder. Ninja Turtles is awesome. Of course, it involves the Ninja Turtles going after Shredder and the Foot Clan. The Foot Clan was actually a parody of The Hand from Marvel Comics and Daredevil. It involves April O'Neil. She's a reporter. She gets mugged, and one of the Ninja Turtles, Raphael, saves her. He leaves a sigh. She's wondering who saved her from a mugging. She starts to investigate. Meanwhile, across New York City, you have different thefts of this Foot Clan organization. They're taking in all the troubled youth and have them join their clan. And they don't know that it's led by the evil Shredder. Shredder in this is just intimidating and is a force to be reckoned with. I like the look of him. It's very cool how they brought this character to live action. They also brought certain elements from the comic, whether it be the Ninja Turtles' origins from the ooze with Splinter finding them, Splinter being a rat, and Shredder killing his master, instead of him being a human transformed to a rat like the cartoon. And then you also have different fight scenes that are very reminiscent of the comics with the Ninja Turtles versus the Foot Clan. There's a little bit of a side character of Casey Jones, hockey mask Casey Jones. He's a vigilante. Raphael comes across, and they fight for a bit. And that's a cool thing. Raphael is a hothead. Leonardo's a leader. He's a determined one. Michelangelo's humorous, and Donatello is the brains with the gadgets. But it's cool because Raphael's really kind of wanted to go in his own path instead of work as a group, as the Ninja Turtles. Master Splinter is their father figure, and he's like, no, a great ninja must work together with their team. They must work as a family, as a unit. It's really a test to that. This is a movie about these group of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles learning how to work together not only as brothers, but as a family, as a ninja unit against the evil forces of the Foot Clan and Shredder. And it's very cool that way. You get to be introduced to the characters, and they're very well developed at the beginning of the movie. You also have April's boss, who has a son who is troubled. He's kind of like our entryway into the Foot Clan. We get to see the Foot Clan through his point of view. And yeah, it's pretty cool seeing that younger Sam Rockwell. And April O'Neil, of course, gets into trouble, makes her way into the sewers, and she's introduced to the Ninja Turtles. And Splinter sees her and explains what they're all about, and you get a really cool origin. Some of the animatronics feel a bit dated, but still the effects hold up really well, especially compared to the new Michael Bay stuff. Oh my god, don't get me started on that. They get to know April, they start investigating the Foot Clan, and the Foot, of course, brings the fight to them. That sequence at April's apartment is insane. This is the first movie where really we get to see them use their weapons. It's not child-friendly entirely. It's a lighthearted film, but it also has some very dark, edgy elements. Raphael gets injured, April's house burns down, and Casey Jones joins them. And the second half is really them getting their base attacked, and having to regroup. Splinter is kidnapped, and this is where Shredder realizes that's the rat who scarred his face. So it's really cool with Splinter and Shredder's scenes. He also has that one guy there, that little goon who's like, I don't know, something about him is always funny to me, but it has a really solid origin story. It's lighthearted with edgy elements. It's just the right amount of everything. It's serious, it's funny, it's entertaining. The soundtrack is amazing. Oh my god, Shredder's Suite, that dun 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 dun. Oh, the music is just amazing in this. The soundtrack is very well done. The instrumentals, John Duprez does the score. A very well done score that has some of that synth and just orchestrated music from the late 80s, early 90s. And yeah, this was a huge, massive hit for an independent film. It was made for an extremely low budget, and sometimes I say less is more. They do with what they need to do with the effects, and it's a very tight and solidified story. I like it. It's your basic origin story for the Ninja Turtles. And that part where they have to go invade the Foot Clan, and them working together finally against the Shredder is one of the most interesting scenes. Leonardo's the only one to hit him, but that scene is just awesome. I just love that part where the Turtles are like, at what point do we start losing control? And I like the voices. Sure, it's a bit 80s and kind of Bill and Ted, but they're teenagers. It's like, cowabunga, dude, and like, that's bodaciously awesome. You have humor there with the Domino's pizza delivery guy, of him basically having a late pizza, and he's just like, wise man says, forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for a late pizza. I love that line. And it's crazy because Pizza Hut had a lot of promotion for this film, even though Domino's had a product placement. But I like the chemistry between April and Casey. You really buy into their romance in this film. I like it. I like the relationship with the Turtles both characters have. And the relationship between the father and sons of the Ninja Turtles and Splinter. And of course, they defeat Shredder, but it leaves it open for a sequel. A very well done, entertaining film, and one of the better comic book adaptations that I feel like is kind of forgotten about, especially after all the cartoons and the Michael Bay stuff. It may not be exactly like the cartoon from the late 80s to the 90s, but it is solid in its own right, and it's very true to the original Kevin Eastman comic book. So I'm going to give Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a 3.5 out of 5 and an A-. It is one of the better films out there, and for any 90s kid growing up, you may know how special this film is. Boy, I love being a turtle. Oh, the voice work, the martial arts, everything with Jim Henson's effect, the music. I just love the gritty tone this film has. And they kind of lost a bit of that in the sequels because parents and other people were complaining about the violence level. Even Jim Henson didn't know it was going to be this violent. And I think it was for good reason, but I really wish they didn't lighten it up too much because Secret of the Ooze really lightened up things to where it was campy and had no effect emotionally. They didn't even use their weapons. They had to use other objects, and it was just kind of like a live-action cartoon, which isn't bad, but it was just kind of different from what this set up. Ninja Turtles 3 kind of got a bit back to this one, even though it was in Japan and time travel. It's just by then, they didn't have a big budget and the effects weren't as well done. This one, everything still really holds up well. For a 28-year-old film, practically, it still holds up well. Almost 30 years old. And yeah, I can see why it was the highest grossing independent film of all time. A 3.5 out of 5 and an A-. Those are just my brief thoughts in retrospective of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I like this film a lot. Let me know in the comments below, have you seen Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? If you haven't, definitely check out the original. I think you'll like it. It's probably going to age better now than back then, even though you do have some dated elements. Check it out, and if you've seen it, let me know in the comments below. What did you like about Ninja Turtles? What did you think of it? What's your favorite Ninja Turtles film? Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? Mine's probably between Raphael and Leonardo for me. I like Raphael. He's one of my favorite characters. And as far as like overall characters, I really like Casey Jones in that hockey mask. He's just awesome. Just let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, click the like button and subscribe for more videos. Cowabunga, dudes!